I want to bring in former CBI Director Joginder Singh for a perspective on this, because remember, the onus, the focus of this entire story is now on the CBI and the possibility that they've wantonly diluted the case against molester cop Rathore. Mr. Singh, SPS Rathore has been granted bail because the CBI gave him a clean chit in 2 out of 3 cases. Do you think the CBI actually came to Rathore's rescue? Because that's what is being perceived now.
No, I don't agree. That is the darkest day. After all, it is nobody's case that some evidence was suppressed or it was offered to the CBI and CBI did not take it into consideration. The point is, whatever you get, that only you can present to the court. And if there is no evidence, there is no evidence. I know there are many times, accused are well known, but people are not willing to come forward to give evidence. Reason is that first of all, this case came to CBI after a decade of its happening. For whatever reasons, it remained in limbo. Only when it came to CBI, it filed charge sheet. It got the justice. Then when the other cases were there, like that, using the police force for harassing, torturing, if nobody gives evidence, what do you do?
Okay, you seem to be shielding the glare on the CBI, Mr. Singh, but I'd like to bring in Majid Menon, a senior criminal lawyer, well-known criminal lawyer, for his perspective. Mr. Menon, what do you think of the CBI's role in the Ruchika Girotra case? Do you think they helped getting Rathore off the hook? Is he off the hook at all now?
See, let me first make it very clear that CBI is the premier investigating agency of this country. Wherever, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, whole of India, wherever local police fails to deliver, wherever local police loses faith of the people or faith of the court or law, then CBI intervenes. CBI is brought in as a last resort to ensure that no miscarriage of justice takes place. Now, this Ruchika Rathore case is a widely discussed case for the past long time. And we have seen ups and downs in the case, and I have myself participated from the day one when media and civil society took it up. Now, CBI would not be justified in saying that truth is this, but the evidence is not there. It would be a very sad day if the process of collecting evidence falls short of getting the bottom of truth and then ensuring that there is delivery of justice. Now, this is what precisely is happening. I am sorry, the present director of CBI will have to examine it very carefully, that are the people losing faith in you? Are the people of this country? Because ultimately you are the servant not of the bureaucrats, you are not the servants of the politicians, you are the servants of law, you are the servants of the people of India, for whom ultimately even law is there.
That would indeed be a sad day for the entire nation. But I'm going to give the last word on this story to Neelam Katara. I understand that she's still with us live on Headlines today. Mrs. Katara, with the CBI not being able to investigate sensitive cases on a routine basis or just filing closure reports, there's an overriding feeling that the agency is doing nothing to salvage its own reputation. Do you agree with that line, or is the Ruchika case complicated in itself and that's why this entire situation has come about?
In Ruchika's case, I think 18 years is far too long a period for an investigation agency to be able to come out with tangible proofs and evidence. And I think that is the major reason that initially possibly the evidence has been tampered and the witnesses have been scared, frightened, everything possible has been done at the initial level. So I don't think the CBI, even with best of intentions, could have done much. But if Ruchika's family feels that they have enough evidence, surely they can go to the magistrate where the FR has been filed.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thanks very much for joining us. Neelam Katara, Joginder Singh, Majid Menon.